How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Gonna have a really quick look at Moss Carbon Credit, the MCO2 token, and what's it been doing? Well, it's been having a good old nosedive, which is quite sad to see. This one is full of potential. I think everyone who's watching this video is aware that Moss Carbon is the only um, company on the blockchain that's utilizing NFTs. So for each carbon credit you own, essentially that creates an NFT that can be burnt to offset a cubic ton of carbon. And obviously, when you're purchasing one, you're also protecting protecting the rainforest, which is only a good thing. It does worry me that not enough people know about this token, because if they did, I don't think that we'd be sitting at where we're currently, like 430. It's an embarrassing price. I know personally that the owners need the price to be in the region of $15 to successfully hold a transaction. The cost fees involved with creating a carbon credit and everything that goes on behind the scenes with it costs them $15 per NFT that's minted. So where we are at $4.30 is a quarter really of what they need the price to be at. So right, so we're at 430. As we can all see, and on the daily chart we can see that we're struggling to break above the Ichimoku cloud. We had a rejection back here, sort of mid-April, well, end of March, then mid-April, and since then we've tailed off. We've essentially come back to very close to our historical low, and we've had a move higher, and we had significant rejection around 790, well, 830, but essentially it was around the 786 mark where there is a significant resistance which was holding us back. Since then we've tailed off, and then on the 13th of June we did have an almighty pump up to 942, 943, but we were rejected by the cloud and we came straight back to where we started, and as such we're continuing to tail off. Some could say that that move there was a protection bounce, but as we didn't hold that position and move slowly through, that was just a clean rejection by the cloud. So if we go back in time, the last time we were in these areas of being sub $5, we actually came down to 463. That was our all-time low back on the 22nd of Jan, and then we saw an almighty pump from there which took us up to 2157, there or thereabouts. So as you can see, we have got these resistance zones that we've essentially created on our way down, where they were support and resistance. Now they are all resistance because we've not been able to move back up any higher following our significant move. So as you can see, we've come back on the 11th of May to retouch this zone where we had our previous low. We didn't want to go that low, so we had a slight protection move up to about 840, 850, and since then we've slowly tailed off, had our move, and then we've continued to tail off again. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit, because what's happened yesterday is we have put in our new lower low, and that was at 415. So we have support there, we haven't gone any lower. Let me just bring this in. So yeah, 415. What's going to happen next? What could happen next? Say not what's going to happen next. We have, for the first time in a number of weeks, we have a weak Ichimoku. And that sounds bizarre to say that, but from its time of inception, as far back as I can go, so because obviously Ichimoku runs 25 days ahead of the current price action. So as you can see, from the 26th of Feb until the 8th of April, we had a flat, significant level of resistance that we wouldn't have been able to break through. The same through the end of April and then the start of March. We have these very flat areas which you can't get past when you make attempts to. But what is incoming is what I would class as an open door. Now it is extremely flat, so that's not given that we are going to break through there, but if we were to break through, this is where and how we would. So personally, what would I be looking for now? Every time Moss makes a move, and I'm sorry it's taken six minutes to get here. Every time Moss makes a move, it has a significant drop before it flies. So we haven't had a significant drop. We've descended to new lower lows, but we haven't had a significant drop. So what I would expect to see from here, if we're going to go anytime within the next 9 days through this open door, is I'd expect to see a dip that bring us down to about 350, possible, well, 325 even, before we catapult and shoot from there. Now, the previous time that we blew, we made it up to over $20, but we had a higher starting point. So we have to be realists. It would be amazing to get to the $20 range, but I would much prefer this time round that we see some collaborative working and we don't just shoot for the stars and end up back where we started. I think we're all getting a bit sick of pump and dumps. We want to see our tokens grow. This one does need to be above and hold and remain $15 for it to continue being a viable token. So I would expect to see that we will come up and we will shoot through the Ichimoku within the next 9 days and take us up to, where's that, 1260, which would be a 3x from where it would shoot from. I think that's a fair estimation. At that point, we would then have a level of sell-off and retracement, which will bring us back to realistically 950, possibly even back down to the 780, and then we'll have to review what goes on from there. But what would be really, really nice to see for this one, considering it has been on such a downward turn, that once we do break up to circa the 1256 range, and we have a small sell-off, we go again, and then we would have a chance to turn these resistances into support, break again, and turn more resistances into support before we move off and stay. I can't put time frames on this. Obviously, what I've just put in here would cover 2 months, but is also a 5x, which is something that I think the holders of this token really do deserve by now. And I think that, yeah, I'm still a big holder of Moss and a big believer in what this token can do. So within the next 60 days, I would like to see us have a nice 2.5x, hold some support, and then go again. All right. Best of luck, everyone. Not financial advice, but see you on the next one.